So for today's discussion, number 3, I chose a piece of artwork from my house. This is it. So this is a piece of driftwood that has been in my family since God knows how long, but it was painted in 1973 by Juanita Courtney. So she used what I'm guessing acrylic paint, and that's because I kind of looked through some of the definitions in the book of different arts or different paints, and it said because acrylic paint can be applied to a wider variety of surfaces than traditional painting medias, and it rarely darkens or yellows with age. So since this has been painted it's been around since 1973, I mean, it hasn't yellowed, yeah, there are a couple of chips, but I mean, like, it looks like it was done, like, maybe a year or two ago. It doesn't look like that old at all. And she used asymmetric driftwood, which is, asymmetric is kind of like not every part of the piece is the same length or shape or height or, size or anything like that. So using wood, the book says, and you can see like the growth of the tree like in the wood too. It still has like all of the markings, and then on the back too it has like a lot of wood markings and stuff. But it says growth characteristics of individual trees remain visible in the grain of wood long after trees are cut, giving wood a vitality not found in other materials. Its abundance, versatility, and warm tactile qualities have made wood a favored material for human use and for art pieces. It can be harvested in a sustainable manner or a wasteful one. Obviously, this was a sustainable manner because this wood has not rotted. It still looks the same as when they got it, supposedly. So, what do I see? I see 3 fishing boats. There are what seem to be seagulls, but there are birds hovering over the boats. There's water, but there's no sun, there's no sky, but there's like no color of that, but it just it's kind of like, okay, yeah, like the birds are flying in the sky, but there's no blues in the sky. But there are actually mirrored images of the boats in the water, like right here, underneath the boats. And you see 2 men on the first boat, on the bow of the boat, right here, fishing, or putting line out, or whatever. So, let's see here. Colors used. There's a mixture of browns, blues, greens, whites, blacks, grays. So, like, basically a bunch of, like, cool, calm colors. There's no warm colors used, but you can, since there's no sun, or no sky visible, the artist she shaded the boats where, like, you can tell where the sun is, even though it's not shown. There's shadows right here on the boat, and then there's shadowing right here on this side of the boat and on this side of the boat. So obviously the sun is like over here somewhere, or well, up here. So thought that was pretty cool. So I think her creative process, or like decision-making process with this, was the reasoning because driftwood is very common where I'm from, and so it's like a main piece of artwork in a house, and driftwood is found everywhere where I'm from as well, like I just said, and what associates with the bayou is driftwood and fishing. So she pretty much painted a picture of the bayou like on this driftwood. The story being told, so I think the story being told here is pretty much like the fishermen are trying to make a living. So like fishing is a really hard trade in general. It's pretty much based on luck, and it's a guessing game, and faith as well. So how it makes me feel, it kind of gives me a sense of pride because this artist is portraying the lives of pretty much everyone of where I'm from. And it just makes me like feel happy inside because it just kind of like reminds me of like home. And what I like about it is how she painted the artwork on a piece of driftwood, and she's obviously put something on it to where like the driftwood wouldn't like rot or like deteriorate or anything like that, which I thought was pretty cool. But pretty much like, because driftwood like floats throughout the water and all that stuff, and it's like all over the seaside, like shores and all that stuff. So it kind of gives me the sense of like she is like telling a story from the driftwood's eyes, sort of. So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But thanks.